what's up? It's Sab. Welcome back to my channel, #Sab. Today I am going to be going over 20 keto questions that you guys might have that particularly pertain to me and my journey on keto. My weigh-in results, however, will be based on a 14-day keto because I have not weighed myself since then. After last month when I took 30 days off from weighing myself, or 30-ish, I mean, I did cheat in there a little bit as I mentioned in a previous video. I don't want to solely focus this journey on being 100% about weight loss. I want it to be focused on me and just being healthy and feeling better and, you know, focusing every single day on being the best me that I can. So with that, I'm not going to do weekly weigh-ins as I originally stated that I was going to. I think I'm going to do monthly check-ins. I feel like that is much more of a healthy reflection. I would love to think in a month-long period, things that I've done consistently and differently and, you know, all of those types of things. I just think it's going to be better for myself. So with that being said, let's get right into it. I also want to address the elephant in the room, which is your girl's hair. So you guys know, if you follow me on Instagram, that I bought this wig from Amazon. I was hardcore when I went through my hair trauma earlier this summer. I was scoping out Amazon wigs like crazy, and I literally loved this one. I eyeballed it, and then I finally just bit the bullet. I will link it below. It's under $50. It is synthetic, but you can put heat through it. It is a lace front wig, and it's also lace. No, it's not lace in the back. I bought two wigs, guys. Y'all see the next one in another video, but my other one's like lace fold round, which is crazy, so you can put it up in like a ponytail, etc. It's crazy. Anyways, just super cute. I have never worn this in public. I've only worn it in photos, and I have worn it like once or twice around the house because why not? Just I feel like it's fun, and it's fun, and it's literally just, it's so long and it's so pretty, and I don't know. I don't necessarily love it down on myself just because I don't normally have a middle part, so I feel like it just looks extra share-like on me down, so I like to kind of give it a little halfway sitch just to kind of give it a little bit more of a, I think, really what I would look like with long hair, which would be just like this. So anywho, all right, so with that being said, let's get right into the questions. And some of these you guys may know, but I'm gonna answer them anyways because, you know. So question number one, when did I decide to make the decision to make this change in my life? Well, you guys know I was really struggling essentially with binge eating and just counting points and things like that. So I had done keto before and wasn't super successful, but part of it was the lack of resources. So it's been 21 days. That's when I decided to make my decision. Question number two, what food triggered you before keto? Every food triggered me. I think a big deal for me is, you guys know I love Takis, and I couldn't ever just have like 6, so I would always eat an entire bag. I did okay when I did the mini bags, but I don't know. That was definitely a trigger food for me for sure. Question number three, was I an emotional eater or a binge eater before keto? Yes, 100%. I could never tie like, oh, I'm eating these french fries because Sally, you know, yelled at me earlier tonight and I'm emotional about it. I could never tie a specific emotion to my emotional eating, but I found comfort in food. I feel like the smell, the touch, the texture, the taste, everything that I would just go deep in food. And sometimes it would be really hard for me to go back. And so I was in this balance of heavily overeating and heavily restricting, which did result in a loss for me consistently over time, but it just wasn't a healthy relationship at all. What are my favorite stores to shop for keto groceries? I would have to say a staple for me is probably Costco, buying bulk meat. I love to buy hamburger, I love to buy chicken, salmon fillets, hot dogs, like all the meat basically from Costco, bulk almond flour, like a lot of the stuff that I buy, I use in bulk. Heavy cream, a huge half gallon of heavy cream, some of that stuff you can't find in the grocery store and it's just cheaper to buy at Costco. So I would say I probably make a weekly trip to Costco. Another grocery store that I guess enjoy is Walmart. I feel like they have some extra things like the cake batter extract and just some little like things that I need in small doses. Walmart's got my back. Do I think that keto is expensive? I think keto can be expensive. I think it's kind of hard because my entire family has not transitioned to keto, whereas when I was doing Weight Watchers, I could do a recipe and feed my whole family. And I still can do that with some things, but when I make really high fat content food, I don't always want to feed it to my kids because my kids are not eating keto all the time. So for them to just be eating such a high fat food, it just doesn't make sense. I don't want to put a bunch of weight on them. So I will make them a more traditional healthy meal when my husband and I will add a lot more fat to things. So because I'm making multiple meals, it can be expensive. I also think it just kind of depends on how you eat and the way that we eat. I like the best and the most extravagant, but I think that you can do keto on a budget. You just have to, you know. What are my favorite keto foods? I would have to say probably coffee. Just bulletproof coffee is like my jam. I love to be able to add like butter to black coffee. I just love that, and that's not something I could ever have done on Weight Watchers without it being like a million points. The other things that I really like are nuts. I don't eat a ton of nuts, but I just cook up my own variation of like a Chex mix minus the Chex, and that's like my favorite little snack. But aside from there, I haven't really found a super favorite food. I just am still trying, and I'm like in the process of still trying everything out. Have I exercised while doing keto? The answer to that is no. I've done like long walks, but I've done no exercise because right now I'm just focusing on keeping my eating straight and not focusing on trying to like drastically change my routine. Has my clothing size changed since starting keto? My physical size has not changed, but I will say that, you know, when I previously followed Weight Watchers and had lost my original amount of weight, I had gotten down to a size like 12, 14, depending on the brand. And all of those clothing now are starting to get kind of loose. Not loose enough to where I could go down a size, but I'm definitely starting to see my body change for sure. How has keto improved my health other than weight loss? I would have to say my mind is so much more clear. I have way less anxiety about food. I would always stress about what I'm going to eat next. My only like minimal anxiety is like, I have to sometimes force myself to feed because I'm not hungry. And that's a little bit weird, but that's not really stressful. It's just more like, okay, let's eat because you need to eat to survive, not because I'm starving and I'm depriving myself, if that makes sense. I also have noticed that my skin is really clear and I'm definitely sleeping much better during my sleeping times. Like I'm getting a like more deep penetrated sleep, I think. I don't know if all these are from keto, but this is what's been happening in my life lately. Describe how keto makes me feel. I love keto. I think it's really feels like a problem solver when it comes to binge eating because you are satiated all of the time, and it makes me feel good every morning when I wake up. I feel that skinny feeling. I feel like my stomach is flat. I feel like my face is, you know, flush. I'm glowing, and I don't feel like I'm exhausted or tired. I fortunately never dealt with the keto flu. My husband didn't either. So I didn't have to experience any of that, but I love the way that keto makes me feel. And I don't know, I feel like I would be lost without that current feeling, which is what makes me feel like I'm gonna keep going strong this time around. Do I feel like I had to give anything up for this lifestyle? Not really. There's not really anything that I'm specifically missing, and there's not really anything that I want that I won't eventually have, if that makes sense. You know, like Takis or Oreos or French fries, some of the things like you can't have on keto. They're processed and not good for you. Will I ever not have them again in my life? No. I just think for me, it'll be a true treat when I do have them. Whereas before, you know, on Weight Watchers, I could have like a handful of fries or a small package of Takis, or, you know, I could eat them more regularly, but they just left me lingering and thinking about them more. And because keto's a little more strict, it makes it so that, I don't know, I'm not that hungry. So then like, I don't really crave things. And now that I've been on it for 21 days, I don't crave anything sugar because I feel like my sugar habit's kind of been kicked as well. So it's kind of early to tell, I would say. What are my goals? Well, obviously my goals are weight loss, but I think ultimately my like diehard goal being on this lifestyle journey is to make a permanent change for myself. I don't want to continue to yo-yo diet. I want to find something that fits my lifestyle. And so far I've gone to, you know, the movies, I've gone to birthday parties, I've gone to family outings, out to eat, and I've been able to fit this lifestyle into this diet into my lifestyle. And I'm also so much more confident in this diet. You know, I used to feel nervous to be like, oh, hey, I'm on Weight Watchers, even though I could eat whatever I wanted on Weight Watchers. It's like, this is just a little more black and white. So I don't mind telling people, hey, like I'm following keto, and you know, like people are just helpful. I don't know. I've just done things and it's just worked out so much easier. Have I gained more confidence while doing keto? I have. I think it's been different than just focusing on weight loss, which every diet in my past I would focus on weight loss, and it would, you know, make me feel like if I wasn't hitting a certain number, then I wasn't successful, which would make me not feel confident. But every day when I wake up and I feel like I have a clear mind and I've had a full night's sleep and my skin is clear and I'm glowing and my stomach feels flat and my clothes are getting smaller and I'm satisfied when I'm eating and I don't feel deprived, like that alone gives me all of the confidence in the world to keep going on. What support have I had? Well, I've had a mixed support. I would say, you know, with my husband doing it with me, it's definitely been a huge support. I've had a few close friends that do it with me as well. We recently had a game night where a few of my friends that were there were all doing keto, so we had just a bunch of keto snacks, and it just felt really good to be able to have fun with friends, have a few drinks, which I know there's controversy around keto and drinks, but I just do vodka and I did bubbly water. But just being able to have fun with friends and, you know, not make it feel like I was this awkward one that was on a diet, but that everybody else was still on the same health journey as me was really awesome. Does my family do keto with me? Well, I kind of already mentioned this earlier that my family's not doing keto with me. And when I say my family, I mean my 5 children are obviously not doing keto. But my husband is doing keto, so I've had support there, and him and I help each other out with like what we're gonna eat and things, and it's the most invested my husband has ever been in joining me on a diet. Whenever he did Weight Watchers with me before, he would, you know, rely on me for a lot of information, whereas now he can like feed himself and come up with ideas and we can eat together, and he knows like if I'm gonna eat something or if I'm like tempted to eat something, which hasn't really happened, but like, you know, he knows like, hey, that's got carbs in it, so don't do that, you know? Number 16 is how many clothing sizes have I gone down, which I feel like I just answered that question. So instead, I'm gonna tell you guys the amount of weight I've lost. So in my 2-week check-in, I initially started out at 209.8 and I came all the way down to 200 even, which is amazing. I'm so close to Wonderland. I could be in Wonderland right now, I have no idea, because I didn't want to continue to obsess on the scale when I started to feel as amazing as I'm feeling. And I know a lot of you guys have seen in my videos, my energy and my happiness and everything has just completely changed since starting this lifestyle. I don't want to feel defeated by not losing weight. So therefore I'm making the choice to not base my entire success on my weight, which means having a better relationship with the scale. As I'm mending my relationship with food, I'm also mending my relationship with the scale. So far at this point, I've lost 9.8 pounds in 2 weeks. As I mentioned before, I'm 21 days in, so there could be more there, but I feel amazing. I got down to 0.2 lower than I did at my lowest weight when I was doing Weight Watchers. So now everything that I do from this point forward is going to be new and fresh and exciting. And already my body has changed. As I mentioned before, even at my lowest weight on Weight Watchers, I was 202.2, and I instantly, like the day after I weighed that weight, instantly went back up to like 203, 204 and kind of teetered there for a while. And this is something I've at least been able to maintain for the few days, you know, after I did my 14-day weigh-in. So I feel different. I feel like my clothing that I was at when I was at 202.2 I'm smaller now. And granted, I was doing 80-day obsession, which was growing my booty back then, which could have been why my clothes were, maybe I'm losing fat. I don't know like what that looks like, but you know, either way, I feel amazing. Am I going to continue keto when I hit goal? Again, I feel like it's too early to say, because the 21-day version Sab that's doing keto is like, yes, hell yes, I'm never changing this for the rest of my life. But I also am old enough and wise enough now to know that you can never say never. So right now, currently I say yes, I will continue keto for the rest of my life. I feel like my body fits well with keto, and not having as many carbs, it just instantly set well with me, and I love it, and it doesn't make me feel deprived, as I mentioned. Have I ever cheated on keto? At this point in time, no, I have not cheated on keto, but in 2 days, this coming Sunday, my husband and I are going to have a cheat day. So we plan to have a cheat meal. It may be a cheat day, it just kind of depends. Like right now, like the gung-ho version of me feels like it's just gonna be a cheat meal because I feel anxious about that alone. But I think going this strong, I wanna kind of keep my body also guessing. I've done a lot of research that some people say to, you know, have a cheat meal every 2 weeks, which I'm not quite like committed to do that. I feel like that's too soon for me, but I think once a month I can definitely count on cheating a little bit. Whether it's a meal or a treat or a day, I'm not really sure. It just will have to kind of depend, because this lifestyle is so flexible that, like I mentioned before, I've gone to birthday parties and family outings and to the movies and out to dinner, and I've been able to fit keto into all of those things. So it's not like before when I was on Weight Watchers, I would go to a party and feel like, well, God, like everybody else is having all this fun and eating all these things, and like then I would just binge while I was there, you know, and one party would turn into a weekend of cheating because I couldn't hold back. I don't have that problem now, so I feel like it will give me less reason to cheat more regularly, if that makes sense. Do I meal plan or track? I definitely meal plan, because with keto you will not be successful if you don't meal plan. It is very like, you'll be stuck eating meat and cheese, essentially, like meat and cheese and olives, if you don't meal plan. Like you literally need to meal plan, so I do that. As far as tracking goes, I would consider myself a lazy keto goer, because I don't necessarily track every little thing I eat. I do use the app, the Carb Manager app, and sometimes like when I go to bed at night, I will just input all of the things I ate and kind of see where I'm at, and most of the time I'm well under 20 carbs. But you know, there are times that I've like been over 20 carbs because I didn't realize like the bacon bites from Starbucks are 9 carbs. I didn't realize that in the beginning, and I was eating them like every day in addition to other things that were full of carbs. So I would, you know, hit like 30 grams of carbs. So I just, no, a little bit. But not really. And what are my favorite keto books? Well, to be honest, I have only read one book, and that book is, I'm pulling it up right now, The Keto Reset Diet. This is by Mark Sisson, and it's narrated by Brad Kearns, who has a podcast as well. This was an audiobook. You guys know I love Audible. Like, why am I not sponsored by Audible? Audible, hook it up, girl, shoot. Anyways, this is just, it just has a lot of information and support about why the keto diet's good for you and how to kind of start the keto diet when you are a beginner. So I highly suggest that book. Anytime my friends like ask me about keto, I always send them like the link to that book. So it's just so informative, and it's easy and it's quick, and I love that book. I don't have any other like books. I have one keto cookbook, but I don't really reference that. I honestly use Pinterest for everything. And again, like I feel like I've said this in every video, but if you guys are not already following me on Pinterest or following my keto board, make sure you guys do that, because everything that I make from home I find on keto or on Pinterest. And all of the recipes I find and I post to my keto board. I do not post anything that I haven't made. So just keep that in mind if you guys are like, oh, like that taco salad looks amazing, Sab. I literally got it from a recipe on Pinterest. So follow my keto board if you guys are following keto. That is basically it though, guys. I hope you guys got some information from me. So I'm down essentially 9.8 pounds, almost 10 pounds from my 2-week check-in. I'm feeling amazing. I'm loving keto. Hashtag no regrets. I learn more and more every single day, and I am just in love with how it's changing my relationship with food. Anyways, that's all. Make sure you guys are following me on Instagram, because I post on there on the regular, and give this video a like. It really helps my channel out. I hope you guys like this tag. I plan to do some more what I eat in a day videos. I've been filming kind of some vlogs. I probably will do something more like a weekly vlog, just because you guys know how I feel about repetitive eating, and I think sometimes I eat a lot of the same things, and there's not a lot of exciting things going on in my life where I'm like, oh, I need to vlog every single day when I'm eating like Starbucks bacon bites every day. So anyways, I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys in the next video.